Welcome into today's video. Today is all about Natasha Denona. I may not be the first to have reviewed this palette. I might not be the last, but I am definitely going to do it. I didn't get fast shipping. I don't have a store that's even close to me within like 30 minutes, and most of them don't get new releases. So I ended up having to get it shipped normally, and I think it arrived, I want to say yesterday. So if it came yesterday and I'm filming today is Friday, I probably won't get this video up until Saturday, and many videos have gone up at this point. I still wanted to feature it on my channel and see what kind of look I can come up with. I haven't watched any reviews on this palette, but I can tell you I've seen some like thumbnails and different looks that people have created with the palette, and it kind of seems like a lot of people are definitely using the deepest shade in there, really smoke out their eye looks. It makes sense because I have looked at this palette, I'm looking at it right now, and that's really the only deepening shade in this palette, so it makes sense that a lot of people are grabbing for that. In this video, we are going to review it. We're going to do full swatches. We're going to do one look. We're going to do the look from start to finish. I am in a good mood. We are filming in fully natural lighting, so let's hop into it. Just like every other video, I never know what the heck to do with my hair. I'm not going to tell you guys whether or not you need this palette. I've seen a lot of thumbnails that are like, do you need it? Is it necessary? Like, yes, it's totally necessary. I can't tell you how many repetitive color stories I have in my collection, and I still get an emotional attachment to some of them. I like the Natasha Denona formula. I don't love them all consistently, but I think that they are really good. I'm not a heavy consumer of Natasha Denona in her palettes, in her makeup line in general, so I try and get the palettes that she releases that really appeal to me. I do not grab every single one of them. Having said that, she has had some pretty good releases recently with color stories that I personally love. So I'm approaching this video from the standpoint of, I don't have every single palette she's ever come out with, so is it a duplication for me? No, not really. But I do want to show you guys the palettes that I have for reference so that you know. The first one I'm going to show you guys is the Retro Glam palette. I think I picked this up mostly to review on my channel. It's not a color story that I like. I don't like pastels, I don't like greens with pinks. I think a lot of people liked this palette because a lot of people like these tones, and definitely because it's a cooler tone color story and a lot of people are really into cool tones. I am myself am more into warm tones. I really didn't care for it. There are some nice looks that I got out of it, and I think it's good quality. It's just not my cup of tea. It just isn't. Again, I got this mostly to review on my channel, and that was kind of it. I played with it a couple of other times, but I don't know if I'll reach for it again. The one shimmer shade, or just basically the shade in here that I love the most, is this one down here. It's a really, really nice, like pinky, light, metallic. It's called Flutter. It's really, really pretty. So I would reach for it for that. I even think that some of the shimmer formula is probably my favorite over the mattes in this palette. Anyway, I just thought I would mention that, but I love the retro palette. This is the second one that I have, and I have 4 total of her palettes. Not including the minis. I do have some of those minis, but none of them do I have duplications for. Like, I don't have the glam and then I have the mini glam, so I don't do that to myself. I always personally kind of thought that was funny, unless there are reasons for travel that you would want to get that, and there are like certain shades in there that you really gravitate towards, and for the travel aspect. Otherwise, I would kind of just get one or the other. That's just how I would personally do it. So this one is awesome. It has a lot of shades that I like. I love mauve tones for everyday wear. It's again another cool tone color story, but it's still the kind of cool tones that I really, really enjoy. So I like that all on its own. And then the next one is the My Dream palette. This is my favorite by far. It just has some other tones in here that are like kind of warm tones. These ones right here that are more peach, I guess, that are really beautiful. This like fiery kind of shimmer shade here. I love plums and peaches and, you know, mauve shades together. This one is definitely my favorite. And then I have one warm tone color story from her. This is the Sunset palette. This is one of her larger palettes. So I don't really think of this as like in the same realm as the midi palettes. It's just, you know, different in style. I kind of find the quality to not be as good in some of the shimmer shades in this particular one as I do some of the little ones. And this one is very different to the other ones because that's just a full warm toned palette. Now let's get into the I Need a Nude palette. So this retails for $69. All of her mini palettes do. I actually really like this. Like, her other one in retro is very similar. It has like raised design underneath this acrylic. Same thing here, except it's not colored. It's kind of even a little retro, but it's really pretty. And here is the color story. Actually, it's way more beautiful in person. I was seeing a lot of different tones come out. I don't know, everybody's camera seems to capture different tones. Same thing when you get swatches from these like promo photos, it is fully a cool toned palette. I don't think there's a warm tone in here. These two shades though, awesome. I love that there's something in here that's peachy that isn't brown, and I don't consider this looking like any of the other 4 that I have. So for me personally, yes, I need it. Yes, I got it. I will grab for this for every day. I actually think this is a really good launch. A lot of people say like, no more nudes, no more neutrals. What? We love neutrals. So we're gonna swatch this whole thing out. I'm definitely interested to see how the tones pull on my fair skin, and then we're gonna do a look, which I have not even anticipated what I'm gonna do yet. A couple of these shades actually look similar. I'm digesting this with you guys. Stone, which is right here, and Mesh, which is down here, look really similar. There's might be a little bit more warmth in this one that's more gray leaning. But other than that, I don't see really any similarities. The only one that I get disappointed in is when, if you guys see my videos where I talk about colors and eyeshadow palettes that I review, I don't like shades like this. They just don't show up on my skin. They are my skin tones, so for me, they don't do anything. So when I see a shade like that, I immediately lock in and I go, wish that wasn't there. But I think a lot of people do like brightening shades like that. They'll throw a shade like that in the inner corner, or you can even kind of use that to throw down as a base. I won't do it. I always think shades like that are wasted on my skin tone personally. What else can I digest with you guys? These two right here are very similar, like in color, and they're both shimmers, but they are different textures. They're not the same. Can you guys see the texture? I don't know how necessarily that would translate to the eyes, but this definitely looks like a softer shade, and this looks more like it would be chunky once it got to the lids, or once you kind of swatched it. There's 3 fun shades in here. I don't know how they're gonna like look. They might end up being more like toppers, but this one, and this pinky one over here in the corner. And I love that there's a really, really light shimmer because I gravitate towards those. Sheen, I think this is Sheen, and this is Mila. They're just so my kind of shimmers. But this Delilah one has like little teensy tiny sparkles in it. It looks so pretty. And then Muse, this one looks like a coppery delightfulness that looks like it would be chunky. So what I was saying is like, this is the only real deepening shade, which I find a lot of people are using on the lower lash line to smoke it out. They're using it in the outer corner a lot. I think we probably will too. I'm ready to go. Let's do it. Let's start swatching. So I'm gonna try and fit this whole palette on my arm. I always do a terrible job, and then I spread them out and then I can't get it all on there, but I'm gonna try again, like I always do. So this one is Stone. It looks like taupe in the pan, but I don't know if it's translating. It is definitely purple, light purple in person. I actually want to hold this up and kind of show you guys. So you see how kind of light that looks? At least to my eye, it pulls pretty deep. Like it has good pigmentation, more so than I thought it would. All right, this one in Whisper, let me show you. It's very, very smooth when you swatch it. Oh, it's pretty. It's almost got like a pink. See the pinkness about it? It's just a very, very smooth shimmer. All right, this one is called Ella. This one has a little bit of chunkiness. Ooh, I almost swatched it on top of that other one. Really pretty. It's not as chunky, but it's not as smooth as the pink one before it. This shade I'm so excited about. It's called Vague. This is a straight mauve shade for sure. Here we go, just a mauve matte. I love shades like this. Oh, that's Swatch Like Garbage. Thank you for being my favorite tone and swatching like garbage. It could just be my swatch, so who the heck knows. Ooh, this next one is called Travertine. I don't know if it looks like Travertine though. It's, again, like this, I don't know. Is that copper? It's kind of gray, which would make sense for Travertine. The variations in the tones are just like meep, but they are all different formulas, so that's good. Okay, ooh, I'm so excited about this one. Delilah. Oh, is it a topper? Don't be, ah, it's not a topper. Look at it. Look at that pigmentation. I'm so excited. Oh, I'm so excited. Look at that. You could even use that to smoke out the outer corner. Do those sparkles translate? They do, it's pretty. You guys, it's like almost like silver up close. It's kind of a chunky shade, so. But you see the little silvery sparkles? It's really, really pretty. They're very, very fine though. This almost looks like a matte with shimmer, even though it looks almost wet in the pan. It's crazy. All right, here's the Silhouette shade, which is not picking up as much. Hey, why are you so hard? My Silhouette shade is like hard pan. No! I'm not even kidding you guys. Is this a cream? It's not a cream. It's a matte and it's straight up hard pan. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you guys can you see how mine's hard panned? And it was like so difficult to get this swatch up. It was like, it feels hard in the middle, like I'm stripping something. I don't know how to describe hard pan. Maybe you can see it. But I was like, wait, why isn't it coming up with my finger? I mean, I eventually was able to get a swatch, but it's definitely, what? No, come on. Aw, really? You guys, that is such a bummer. It's hard pano. Bad, it's bad. I just scraped it with my finger. Okay, that helped a little bit. Yeah, I'll scrape it, I don't care. But it definitely hard panned. Of course, I haven't seen any other videos, so I have no idea if this has happened to anybody else. This actually might be my favorite shimmer, now that I'm touching it. This one is called Muse. It's a really, really chunky metallic. Oh man, that's pretty. Look at that light reflection. So much more than the other ones, see? Should I even swatch fair? Goodness gracious. You're not even gonna be able to see this on my arm, but I'll do it anyway. It's that really, really light off-white shade. Oh look, my skin tone, great. This next one is Filigree. Ooh, this one is wet. It's another metallic, but it's like a wet feeling, cream-like. This next one is called Wit. It's the light pink matte. Here we go. I like this one too. I feel like I would definitely end up gravitating towards the pinky mattes more than, I don't know, some of the other colors. I love that they're not overly gray. Like this one that I swatched, I really just like its tone because it leans a little bit more purple than it does gray. And for me, like, I think that is better because I hate cool tone grays that look muddy on my eyes. All right, this next one in Sheen is a topper. Oh, maybe not. All right, this next one is Tender. Oh, I'm gonna get them all. Oh, what the heck? See that? Twice now. Okay. Okay, here's what's on my finger. Get off. There we go. There we go. Got it. See how they almost lean purple on my skin? Does it look that way in the camera? All right, this next one is in the shade Mesh. I don't love how these matte swatch. I'm not trying to hate, but I'm just saying. All right, this next one, don't disappoint me, is Mia. Oh, it's definitely not a topper like the last one in Sheen. Can I get it here? Yes, I can. Ooh, some of those shimmers are really, really light. Wow, from this distance, everything looks brown. It's not quite what it looks like in the pan. And when you look in the pan, I don't know, a lot of the, like these ones look so much lighter in the pan than they end up looking once I've kind of swatched them out on my skin tone. So I wonder if I can kind of stay away from doing too brown or too gray of a look. But I have an idea of what we're gonna do, so let's hop right into it. We are going to take Wit. We're not, no we're not, we're not taking Wit. We are going to take Mesh. Yeah, we're gonna take Mesh here. And I'm going to put this all over the lid. Well, the upper part of my lid. I'm gonna take Vague in the crease, which is this one. I'm sorry, I'm leaning on the table, trying to get close to the camera. We're gonna have to take Silhouette in the outer corner just like everybody else because it's the only real deepening shade. So that's how we're gonna do it. We're using Muse. Muse right here is gonna go on the lid. It's just, it looks copper or gold in the pan, but you guys, it swatches like pink on my skin. Like, let me show you. Like, it comes out pinky peach. It's so pretty and it's so like deceiving. Like, it does not look pinky peach, at least not to me in person. So I feel like that's the one that we need to go for. I think I'm just gonna speed through this process. So into Mesh I go with a Spectrum B06 kind of all over brush. I'm gonna tap it off and I'm going in. I hope this is good enough pigmentation for my fair skin, but we shall see. I actually think that was really good. It's not like an overly pigmented shade when it gets to my lid, but I think it's like good if I run this shade Vague like in the crease and then blend upward. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take a little bit of a thinner brush. This is just a BH Cosmetics diffuse brush, but it's a little bit tighter packed, like it's pinched a little bit more than the one I was just using. So I'm gonna go into the crease with it. Okay, well, those are super lightly pigmented, so that's pretty much what I feel like I can expect from the remainder of this palette. I see why everyone was grabbing for that silhouette shade now, because this is so lightly pigmented. And I don't know about that for every skin tone, but at least for mine, I can definitely see those that are trying to really like test as many shades as they can. I can see why people would grab that silhouette shade. Both of these tones, like, they don't look that different. You're not gonna get a vibrant look out of this palette. You're gonna get an everyday look, which I personally love. You know, I wanna mention this, and if this is at all helpful for you guys, I have been reviewing palettes now for a year on my channel, and I'm tiny little micro influencer. I do pretty much the same basic style type eye look, and it's because what I've become accustomed to doing. But I test palettes all the time. I test palettes I don't even necessarily like so that I could review them on my channel. That may not make a whole ton of sense, being that I don't have a lot of subscribers, but I feel like that's kind of how you build it. You start reviewing things that are popular and that people want to see. Quality is really great, the shimmers are really great, but sometimes they end up sitting in my collection to be tested further to go into ranking videos, and they don't get touched because they're too crazy of a color story. I just don't have the time to test it the way that I want to, because I really have to get presentable to go to an office job. Plus I'm in HR. No one wants the HR director showing up in green eyeshadow. We probably wouldn't even be taken seriously. So palettes like this, even though, you know, they may have been done before, or they're very basic and they're very nude, it's a palette that I can continue testing over and over again, as many times as I can come up with, you know, a unique eye look, or in this case, you know, just testing different shimmers. So I'm really excited that this is a really boring basic color story, but it has like at least 3 or 4 different formulas in it in terms of the shimmers. Anyway, I'm a little upset that this silhouette shade definitely hard panned. All right, well, speaking of this silhouette shade, we are going into the outer corner. There's your pigment. We're going into the outer corner with it. We're gonna do like everybody else that I've seen in the thumbnails, and we're gonna use this as a deepening shade because you really can't use anything else. All right, now I've packed it where I want it. I am going to take that same Spectrum brush and I'm going to blend a little bit along the edges. I am bringing Vague back in. I want this more pink. I don't know, as I start to get through the look a little bit, I'm like, okay, too much brown and gray. I want a little bit of mauve, I think. And then just to blend these 2 shades together. I don't know, the highlight of the show is gonna be the shimmer, for sure. I don't like this side. Why? I usually like my right side the best. It's just looking a little bit patchy. Simple, fast, still good enough that I could take this look to the office though. I'm pretty confident about that. All right, we're going into the Muse shade next. I'm actually really excited for this shimmer. Oh. That's exciting. That's really exciting. It's like a tacky shimmer too. It has good stick to it, so easy. Although I made a mess, just bear with me. I'm gonna clean it up. All right, I'm going back into that silhouette just to blend those 2 shades together. Just a little bit more. Obviously a little bit of fallout with that shimmer shade. I do think it's a little bit sparkly, but it's pretty easy to clean up. I actually personally like it because it's a little bit chunky. Sometimes I find myself gravitating for chunky shades all of the time. So we need to do the lower lash line, but I'm gonna do my base first. So I'm gonna hop off camera and do that, and then we're gonna come back and finish it. I'm also gonna throw on some lashes, and so we'll finish up the lashes as well. You guys will do that on camera so you can see like me putting together the final eye look. So I will see you guys shortly. Okay, we're back. The sun has totally gone down. It's been a little while. I did my base makeup, but I also went downstairs and I had dinner. And then I came back up and did my base makeup, testing new makeup. So it's been a while since I started the eye look, and it's still good. It's still vibrant. It's still nice. I feel like I need to touch up the outer corner, maybe just a little bit, because I did go and throw on foundation and concealer. But aside from that, everything seems to be holding up just super well. It's really pretty. Like, the more that I sit with this look, I can see why people are using that silhouette shade as a deepening shade. So we need to finish this eye look. So we're gonna take a Rephr 12 brush. It's a little bit of a thick pointer brush because I don't want to be super precise. And I'm gonna go into that silhouette shade on the bottom in the outer corner. Now I'm taking Vague and I'm running it to the beginning of my lower lash line and smoking out the outer edge with it as well. Because I use kind of a darker shade on the lower lash line, I'm gonna go into my Make Beauty Continuum Waterproof Gel Eyeliner in Otherworld, which is like a gold kind of shimmer, and I'm gonna put it in to the waterline on the lower lash line. I don't know, it's a little bit different, but I'm going with it anyway. I want to throw on some lashes, so I want to take the Sephora in the style Irresistible. They're their natural lashes. I have worn these once and I really like these. I'm starting to find that I really enjoy Sephora lashes overall, so I'm going to throw these on. Okay, lashes are completely on. I'm going to go into a waterproof felt liner. This one is the Sephora one. I use this all the time, you guys. I'm addicted to this one. I made a boo-boo with the liner. Boo-boo with the liner. Oh well, you know what? You can't even see it from this distance. But I accidentally like skipped a little bit on this eye and it went whoop, so that happened. The final step is I'm going to tight line with the other waterproof black gel eyeliner and just run it here to tight line. Okay, that's pretty good. I want to go into the inner corner and I want to do it with sheen. I really enjoyed sheen, so we're taking this guy with just a small Rephr 03 brush and I'm going to go in the inner corner right here. I feel like this will pop, hopefully. It's not an overly bright shade, so I don't know. A little bit more subtle. Well, I definitely took it more than every day. This is basically like date night, but I also feel like you could get away with this for work and like it would still be acceptable. I mean, it would definitely be like a statement eye look for sure, and I don't wear lashes when I go to work, so that would definitely be a little bit of an extra step. But I thought it would just be fun to throw on lashes to complete the eye look completely. Complete the eye look completely. We like to say redundant things around here on my channel. We're at the point where I want to hear your guys' comments. Like, I am dying to hear whether or not you picked this up. If you're a Natasha Denona, saying her name is so hard, fan, how many reviews on this palette you saw before mine, I would love to know. I personally already told you guys my thoughts that I think this is a great launch. I love the tones. I'm mad that the silhouette shade was hard panned. Optically, it's hard panned, like you can see it. It's obvious. So that's the only boo-boo badoo-doo thing about it. But otherwise, you guys, I think it's a great color story. I think it's great for every day. I like that there are a variety of different textures and formulas to the shimmers. I think that's really cool. I think you can amp it up for a smokier date night look, and I think you could go a little bit more subtle for everyday look. So for that reason, I think there's a great value in the palette. Those are it. That's it. That's my final thoughts, you guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I am out of here, and I hope to catch you all in my next video. Bye, guys.